The Lions are up 7. What an amazing game this is. I am a Michigan homer, as you may not expect. um, but that is the truth. And the Lions are in a game with the Chargers tonight. Wow. They lead by 7 points, and there's another fourth down that the Chargers are going to go for here. Like, I don't know, fifth or sixth one that they are going to try and get. The Lions had 8 plays to keep the Chargers out of the end zone one time. And on the 8th play, they gave up the touchdown. But, man, we've had goal line stands for both teams. We've had electric plays in this game. It's unbelievable what I'm seeing. As I'm watching the end of this game, there's 3:42 left. I'm going to tell you my power ranking for college football now that the week is through. The resume ranking is already available to all of you out there. Uh-oh, there goes Keenan Allen. This game is tied. Barring an extra point, this game is now tied at 38. What a game. Sorry. The reason you guys clicked on this video is because Michigan is number 1 in the nation. 10-0. They beat Penn State in Beaver Stadium 24-15 without Harbaugh. Michigan threw out the pass game early and punished Penn State to the tune of 227 rushing yards behind the new Heisman candidate, contender, Blake Corum. He had 145 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns versus that Penn State defense. It was amazing. He now has 18 touchdowns on a season, over 800 yards. We'll see if he can get into that conversation. Number 2 for me this week is Georgia. So they stay the same. 10-0. They destroyed Ole Miss at home 52-17. I think Georgia wants that number 1 ranking back. Bowers was back and played well. They look really good. Very balanced, and the defense is great. I think between Michigan's defense, Georgia's defense, Ohio State's defense, Penn State's defense, Iowa's defense, they're all a toss-up. Who has the best defense? Because Iowa has no offense, but still they're 8-2, which is crazy. But Georgia's number 2. Number 3, and Michigan is at Maryland this week coming up, and Tennessee is hosting Georgia this week. Ohio State is number 3 still, same as last week, 10-0. They beat Michigan State 38-3. Can you say cruise control? Michigan State is lifeless. They are lifeless this year. McCord had 335 yards and 3 touchdowns through the air. Marvin Harrison Jr. had 7 catches for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Plus, he had 1 rush for 19 yards, which resulted in a touchdown. That guy has his own Heisman candidacy going on. Number 4, they have Minnesota this week. Number 4 is Alabama. They are 9-1. Listen, they dominated at Kentucky, 49-21. This is not the same team that lost to Texas in week 2. The defense is improved tremendously, and Milroe is showing why they trusted him at quarterback. He was 15 of 22 at Kentucky for 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, and just the 1 interception. But he had 3 rushing touchdowns as well and like 40 yards. So he is the do-it-all guy for Alabama. They are improving. They're number 4. They have Chattanooga this week. My God, we're nearing the end of the season. Michigan's playing Penn State, and Georgia's playing Tennessee, and here Alabama is playing Chattanooga. And Florida State's playing Northern Alabama or something. They're number 5 for me. Number 5, Penn State. 10-0. They survived Miami. So they're down 1 spot from last week because Alabama moved up 2 spots from last week for me. 27-20 at home versus Miami. I know it's a rivalry game, but how many of these times, how many games are you going to have that are this close? Are you just sleepwalking through the awful ACC? LSU was a long time ago, that second half versus them, where you looked dominant. I haven't seen it since. And I heard someone else say that. Maybe it was Uncle Lou who said that. I'm with him. Where you at, FSU? You're down one spot. Number 6 is down one spot too, Texas, because Alabama jumped both of these two teams. And yes, Alabama lost to Texas. But Texas is 9-1, and they barely survived TCU on the road, 29-26. Speaking of a lot of close games, 4 of their last 5 were one-score games, and they lost one of them. Ewers was even back for this one. TCU, come on. They don't have Johnston anymore, who's tearing up the Lions' defense right now. Big play for the Lions, by the way. They're down on the 34-yard line of San Diego with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Game-winning field goal coming up for the Lions? Who knows? Texas, a win is a win, though. You know, as long as you keep winning these one-score games, you'll be all right. Number 7 is Washington. Texas has Iowa State on the road. Washington's number 7, 10-0, beat Utah 35-28. Good win versus a good team. I struggled to keep Washington ahead of Oregon this week, to be honest with you. You're clinging to that 3-point victory at home versus Oregon here. Penix and the offense is great, but the defense is not. 382 yards to Utah is okay, but it's not championship caliber. And that leads us to, they have at Oregon State this week, which should be an interesting game. But Oregon is number 8, 9-1. They beat USC 36-27. Everyone does great against USC offensively, and so did Oregon and Bo Nix. He had 412 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. They held USC, to 27 points, which is pretty good defensively there. They have Arizona State on the road coming up. Oregon just seems to be the better team so far than Washington, but because of that head-to-head, I don't know where to put them. And by the way, before I reveal the last 2 teams, I think the top 4 teams are the best 4 in the nation. Michigan, Georgia, OSU, Alabama, obviously. But, because I had them ranked there, right? But they will play each other. Get this. Michigan and Ohio State are going to play. And then the next week in the conference championship game of the SEC, Georgia and Alabama are going to play. So that gives hope for some of these other teams like Florida State, Texas, Washington, Oregon. Now, number 8, number 9, I think is out of the championship race for the NCAA and for the Big Ten. I stayed with Penn State, all right, at number 9. They lost to a really good Michigan team, 24-15. Their only losses are at Ohio State and versus Michigan. Penn State fired offensive coordinator Mike Yurcich today, just a little bit ago before I started recording. So, and I don't get it because, Penn State put up 15 points on Michigan. That's pretty good. Really, Michigan's defense is elite. But it's still the defense that has them here at number 9 for me, holding Michigan to 24 points and 287 yards. That defense is elite. And they have Rutgers coming up this next week. And I got to do the same for Miss. Ole Miss at number 10. They remain the same from last week as well. They're 8-2. They lost at Georgia, 52-17. Their only losses are at Alabama and at Georgia. what can I say? It was not good on the road for Ole Miss at Georgia, but I can't justify putting Louisville, Oregon State, Oklahoma, Missouri, or any other teams ahead of Penn State and Ole Miss quite yet. These two teams lost to the best 4 teams in the nation. They're number 9 and number 10. If you disagree, comment down below. That's my top 10. Number 1, Michigan. Number 2, Georgia. 3, OSU. 4, Alabama. And I'm not saying that that's going to be your playoff, because Texas has the head-to-head, and that matters in the rankings and who deserves to be in and whatnot, but them are the best 4 teams. Just ahead of Florida State, Texas, Washington, Oregon, and then you got Penn State and Ole Miss. All right, on 3rd and 14, St. Brown got about 12 yards. It's 4th and 2. Will they kick the field goal, or will they go for the win here? If I know Dan Campbell, he's going for it. With 1:47 left in this game. Offense is still out there. They're going to go for it, Jim Nance just said. Here we go. Josh back. He's got time. He got it. Sam Laporta got 6 yards when he only needed 2 there over the middle. I'm sorry, but this ranking video turned into a Detroit Lions video. It's an epic game going on right here. He's fired up. Dan Campbell is fired up. Let's go. That's it. Couple runs and kick the field goal, unless you can run it in to the end zone. Nobody has any timeouts here, so just don't get caught in a situation where time's running out and you can't get your field goal unit onto the field. If you're Detroit, they just took a knee. They're banking on their kicker. Riley Patterson, who they said earlier couldn't kick a 55-yard field goal. He only had like 5 attempts so far in his career. Can he make this short one and win? Detroit Lions 7th game. They will go to 7-2. One more knee here first. If this goes to overtime, I'll let you guys go. You have to go look at the ending on your own. You're already going to know it by the time you watch this video anyway, but here we go. 3rd and 12. They're going to take one more. Well, they can't take one more knee. Oh, they're going to take it early. Yep. And now walk out the field goal unit. No, they have no timeout, so they got to be ready here. What the fuck? Get out there. It was showing no timeouts for Detroit left on the screen. Apparently they had one. Alright, I guess I can see the little sliver of gray down there at the bottom. They have one left even. What the hell, I'm colorblind. Come on, CBS. Let's go. Let's go Lions. Let's go Blue. Nervous. Two seconds left. This is it. Riley Patterson, 41-yard attempt. In SoFi Stadium on the road in the West Coast. And it's good! You tell them, Jim Nantz. The Lions pick up another huge win. Michigan's rolling. Wow. There you go. There you go. Power ranking for college football. Yeah. The Lions victory live. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, and have a great one. Go Honolulu Blue and go Blue.